Welcome to Yoga for Musicians. I am Yoga Lena, a professional horn player, but also a yoga teacher. And today it is calm bisbigliando. So it's all about active restitution. And the structure of this class will be first a short introduction, and then we will do a grounding with a breathing exercise. Then we will go into a longer yin yoga session where we do some positions in longer time. I will tell you more about that when we get to it. After that, when you come to the shavasana, the relaxation in the end, I will give you a yoga nidra, so I will guide that. And in the end, there will be room for questions for the people that are in the live. So let's start. And why calm bisbigliando? So bisbigliando means whispering. And sometimes that can be very powerful to play a pianissimo, right? So last year in Dublin Brass Week, I heard Jesper Busk, the solo trombone in Berlin Phil. He played a solo piece and it was the most amazing pianissimo with so much colors in it. And it was just, oh, it was magic. And that kind of powerful pianissimo, that's what we should do today in the yoga nidra and also in the yin yoga. So it's going to be powerful, but you're going to hold back. So it's nothing that you have to perform. You don't have to push it to 100%. You should keep it at maximum 70%. And I've been talking to some musicians or writing with them, and I also experienced this myself, that it's pretty dark out there. And not just because it's autumn, but it's happening things in the world. The corona is just like all over us. And what happens then, we have back here in the brain, we have the fear center. It's called the amygdala. And when we read the news, because yes, we do read all the news, all the numbers from all countries around the world, we get afraid. When you need to go grocery shopping, or you need to take a bus, or you might need to go to your work, it's all the time like, oh, isn't that person a bit close? Or oh, he was coughing. And you are in this frightened state all the time. So you will feel stressed. And even maybe at home, you're worried about, will this ever end? Will I get some money? Will I get work again? So it's so much stress, and we're all the time in this parasympathetic part, no, the sympathetic part of the nervous system, sorry, where it's the fight and flight, which is great. If you always almost are run over by a car, it's fantastic. Then you have to react super quick. And your stress hormones helps you with that, then it's great. But when you are in that almost all the time now, and then you maybe have a ceremony in a church, or someone wants you actually to play, and it's a live stream, and then on top of all that, your glass is already full with stress, and on top of that, you're going to perform, and yeah, I'm so thankful, I'm going to perform, and then it just feels awful. And it's not just me, I think there are more musicians feeling like this, because I've been, like I said, talking to quite a lot of people about this, that it feels like they're playing their exam concert, and they might be professional musicians in a great orchestra, but it's different now. And we are feeding that fear center, the amygdala, all the time with the news, with everything. So what we need is to get into the parasympathetic part of the nervous system, the rest and digest. And that is where we're supposed to be most of the time, and we're really not. So that's what I want to give you today, a possibility to go down into your parasympathetic nervous system and get this deep, deep relaxation and feel the effect of that, feel the power of rest. Okay, so we're going to move from this over to this. And for many of you, this will be, maybe the biggest part of it will be a mental stretch, to actually schedule that time for rest and to be in these positions. This is 3 minutes when I turn it. You're going to be in the positions at least 3 minutes. And that will be, whoa, for the brain. And then you will kind of layer by layer, you will feel the calmness coming into your body, into your mind. And in the end, I promise you will just like, okay, I found it. But it might take some time. So don't worry if you feel that, oh, it's a lot of thoughts and just like, yeah, when are we going to move on? Try to be in it. Okay. So also what helps us to get into this parasympathetic nervous system is conscious breathing. And you can do that during your day, more of the conscious breathing. So we're moving into the yin yoga part of this, and yin yoga is for the connective tissues and the connective tissue and the joints. It's not muscular stretches, and that's why we don't want to go to 100%. You want to keep it on maximum 70. If you know that you're a person that always just like, yeah, all in, then maybe back up to 50% or even 40%, because you will get the effect anyway. The thing is that if you start at 100, you have nothing to melt into, because the connective tissue is all over your body. It's around every muscle fiber, every muscle. It's between your skin and your muscles. So it's all over your body. It's kind of your biggest organ. And to get that elastic, we want it to be like this, so the muscles can be used, so they can be strong. So all the liquids and everything that needs to go around in the body and all the energies and stuff, we want that to be able to do that. And then you need it to be this elastic. When that tightens, it's hard to work with the muscles. You get tension, you get maybe not the slag products out of your body. So that's why we do this practice. And you need time and you need something to melt into, and I will guide you through it. There are several options of each position, and I will show you some. So wait and pick. And then you go into it and you can adjust it after, and nothing should be hurting. So if you feel something somewhere, just do something else, adjust it, put some more cushions in under. But first we're gonna ground, so you can just lie down. I will not show you how to lie down. You can lie down. You might put a bolster or a blanket under your knees maybe, or just make it comfortable. So lie down on your back all the way and just listen to my voice. You can put your hands either facing the palms up, just relaxed down, or you can put the hands maybe on your hips or on your stomach or on your heart. And then start notice your breath without fixing it now. Just notice your breath, how it goes in and out. And try to close your mouth and breathe through your nose. Your next inhale will be like a big crescendo, maybe a little fermata on top. So hold for a couple of seconds, then exhale like a decrescendo all the way. And maybe another fermata in the bottom before you turn it. Inhale back up and follow your own rhythm. Try to stretch your inhale and stretch your exhale, and maybe even stretch that pause in the middle. Feel how your surface is carrying you. You can be safe, that your floor will be there. So try to be even heavier down. See if you can relax a little bit more somewhere. And your inhale in Latin, it's inspirare. It means inspire. So every time you inhale, you inspire yourself. You nourish all your cells. And your exhale is the expirare. It's letting go of what you don't need. And if you feel like it, your next inhale will be through your nose and then exhale through your mouth. Just sigh it out. And do that 2 more times in your own pace. You are your own conductor. You can follow my guiding, but you can also do whatever you want. And the last really big inhale, inspire your whole body, and then let go. Then just slowly find your way back up to a seated position, and I will show you the first of the yin yoga positions we're gonna be doing. And you're gonna be thinking like, what? Is that all? Yes, it is, but layer by layer, you're gonna be relaxed and your connective tissue will be super happy. So I'm just showing you first, I'm lying down on my back and I put one leg on top of the other. And I try to out rotate my hip here. And then I can adjust. I can put my feet further away if I have tight hips, or you can put it a bit closer, but maximum 70%. So find your position. It's really, I don't think you need many options for this. And when you have found your position, see if you can relax a bit more in your hips, in your knee. Maybe you can get it heavier. So keep trying to relax into it and just trust the process. And in yin yoga, you can breathe how you want. You don't need to use the ujjayi breath that we do normally in yoga with this ocean breath. You can breathe just as you want. For some people, it might be a lot of thoughts coming up. Then you can decide, is it a nice thought that you will just keep? Or is it something that is not very helpful? Then you can just wave and send it away. And maybe also if you have a lot of thoughts and you think that disturbs your practice, then you can try to do a bit more conscious breathing and notice your breath and listen to your breath. If you then put on your ujjayi, for some people that is more helpful during yin yoga as well. So see if there is some place you can relax even more. And yes, this is it. And layer by layer, you will sink deeper into your relaxation and you will train or exercise your connective tissue. And your joint there that is rotated out will also be trained. Or in yin yoga with the joints, sometimes we go to the full extension or the full to the maximum. And that will make it stronger. But if you feel that it hurts somewhere, then you need to adjust your position. Maybe put your left leg a bit more forward. And try to keep your shoulders super relaxed down in your surface. We're in the last minute of this position. And when you're gonna later move out of it, try to use as less muscles as possible, because we don't want to use the muscles in yin yoga. We don't want them active, because then we can work better with the connective tissue. So when you move out of it, you need to do it super slow. Take a big inhale through your nose to wake up your brain and body, inspire. Exhale through the mouth, and then super slow, just put down your leg and you're going to change sides. Maybe you want to stretch out in between, or if you feel like doing something in between, you're free to do that. You can notice if there is any different. It might be, since we play instruments, it might be some unevenness in the body. So maybe the other side is much more stiff or feel different. But it's not bad, it's just different. Maybe it need more time. Maybe after this session you should do that side one more time. Or if you're watching the film, then you can just stop the film and do it longer. Notice if there is any thoughts coming up. Just bring your focus back to your breath. And try to layer by layer, relax as much as possible in this position. It's called a needle eye. And I think it's fantastic that you can do quite comfy positions like this, and you can say that you have trained yin yoga. And sometimes it doesn't help to work harder, especially in these stressful times. It doesn't help to work harder. You need to put more of the relaxation into it. And the more you have to do, the deeper relaxation or the more relaxation you need. And then everything you do will get a better result. We're soon getting into the last minutes of this. And I know that for musicians that really want to be as efficient as possible, and I know, I feel you. This is a mental stretch. Just be in it, and we're in this together. And patience is really something we need to train these days. So we can train it on the yoga mat. Maybe it becomes a bit easier than in real life. Start to prepare your brain that you will soon, super slow, move out of this position. So take a big breath in through your nose, inspiration. Exhale through your mouth, and without any muscles, try to super slow move out of it. And we're going to be in child's pose, and I'm going to show some variations, or you can just go to your favorite right away and you will get a bit more time in it. So child's pose, I am showing here. So I'm putting my hips back down to my heels, and then try to get my forehead down, and I can have my arms forward or backwards. If this doesn't feel comfy for you, you could take a cushion between your heels or on top of your heels and sit back. Then you will not get this sharp angle. You could put a blanket under your knees if you need that. If it's still far down, you can put something under your forehead. Make sure that you can relax your shoulders as much as possible, and also your neck. Another variation of this is if you take a bolster or a big towel or blanket or an extra yoga mat, roll it together, and then just sit on top of it, and you can lie down like this. Oh, now you get some extra sound here from my buckwheat that's inside my bolster. So just find a comfy variation of child's pose. So pick one of them. And we're going to work with the back side of the body, the connective tissue on the back side. When you have melted down into your child's pose, make sure that you relax your face, your throat, and feel that when you inhale, you feel that your whole backside is expanding, or it kind of open up the backside. And remember, 70%. So back off a little bit or put some extra cushion if you feel that you need it. And if you have some other favorite position with your arms, you can of course do that. So child's pose, a really safe position, keeps you close to the ground. And this whole class is very grounding. I want you to get grounded and relaxed. Notice again if there are any thoughts coming up. If it's a nice thought, maybe you want to keep it for a little while, or just send it away and get back to your breath. Maybe a more active breath, maybe not. And layer by layer, we're melting into this position, melting into the ground. And to sometimes give yourself time to relax like this, or do yin yoga or some other kind of really deep relaxation. It doesn't mean that you will lose your tempo or get lazy. I think after this you will be surprised on how much energy you get from a deep rest. And the thing is that if you think you're resting while you watch Netflix or scroll on Instagram, you are still feeding your brain with information that it has to process. So this will also calm your brain a lot. Child's pose is fantastic whenever you need to get less stressed or grounded. You want to be grounded. It's really good in the evening, and you can maybe put on some nice music or just have the quietness. You will feel calmer after 3 to 4 minutes in this position. We've been there for about 4 minutes now. So we are in the last minute of this position. And for some of you, it feels like, oh, I would just want to stay here. And for some of you, it starts to get intense somewhere, somehow, maybe in the brain or maybe in the body, but just stay in it some seconds more, or some more seconds is probably more correct to say. Just keep breathing. Your next inhale is a bit more active. Inspire yourself. Big inhale, like just before a wonderful solo. Exhale maybe through your mouth. And when you're going to move out of this, try to roll up Slowly, slowly. And the neck is the last thing coming up. Maybe use your hands to push yourself a bit up so your back is as relaxed as possible. Maybe you also notice now that when you move out of the position, it's just like, I'm supposed to be elastic and soft from this, but I feel more stiff. Yes, that's the first reaction. And that's the opposite of what you will feel later. Then you will feel like, such a freedom in your body. If you think about other training, if you were doing strength training on your legs, they would first be weak, right, and wobbly, and then after a while they will be stronger. So the first effect is always the opposite of the longer effect. Next position is the Sphinx. It's for the front side of the body. It will boost you, and it's also for the lower back that I know many musicians have troubles with. And here I can also show some different options for you. Yes, I'm ready. Okay, so I will lie down on my belly and I will keep my elbows either under my shoulders, but probably you want them a bit more forward, right? And here, you don't want to be as high up as you can feel any tension here. You want to relax. So maybe you then need to move your arms a bit more forward. You can also try here with rolling a blanket or using a bolster or something in under, if that helps you to relax more. So if this is better for you, and then you can also try to see if you can relax your forehead on something. You can also do that without the bolster, relax down, or maybe on a lower level. So find your variation and try the different ones. It's not going to hurt in your lower back. It's going to feel like it's interesting, but it's not going to feel bad at all. So find your variation of the Sphinx pose that will boost you and get you a bit more ready for whatever waits out there. And it's even, it's Friday the 13th in 2020. So you might just stay on your yoga mat today. That might be the safest thing to do. So when you have found your way into this form, then it's nothing more to do. So try to just be. Let the breath be automatic. Trust that it will happen, and trust that this will give you an effect. Even that it doesn't feel much and it doesn't feel like training or that you're doing much, but just trust me. And the opposite of trust is control. And we try so much to control. And we've learned now more than ever that control is an illusion, right? We don't even know what new restrictions that will show up tomorrow or even in about 2 hours. And all that things that you can't really affect, you can't do anything about it. Try to not focus on that. Focus on what you can do. You can give yourself more relaxation. You can get a nice practice. You can call a friend. Maybe try to call someone and try to not talk about Corona. So focus on what you can do something about instead of all that we really don't have control over. And find your way back to your breath again. We're in the last minute of this position. Maybe it feels different now from when you started it. Just notice that. Be curious of what is happening. And when you soon will go out of this position, you would just push yourself back into child's pose again, but we're going to do a rotation of it. So I want you to then use your hands to push yourself back into child's pose, super slow, and then sit up so you can see the options on the next one. So take a big inhale, take a big exhale, and I'm going to show you the child's pose with a rotation. So super slow, find your way back up. And whatever you did with cushions and stuff, do it again for the child's pose, but you will also do this rotation. So instead of having your arms forward or just backward, you're gonna take your right arm in under, so you get a rotation in your spine here. And you can see if you want to go a bit wider with your knees, it might be easier to find your way down. If it's very far down, use a book or something, a cushion that you can rest your head on if that feels better, or even under your shoulder. So welcome to find your way into the rotation in the child's pose. So that will be super good for your spine. And again, not 100%, right? So back off a little bit, use your cushions and find your way. And when you have found the form, try to take a big inhale, and on your exhale, expirare, let go. So try to sink into it. Be curious what will happen in your spine. And it's so much stuff that gets stuck in the spine that we need to kind of squeeze out. So much feelings, frustration, anger, and worries that you now slowly, without actually doing much, you just squeeze it out. So make sure that some of your exhales now is with open mouth. So you really get rid of that slug products and that old bad feelings that you've been holding on to. And bring your awareness back to your breath if there is many thoughts coming up. Or maybe when we do rotation, there might even be feelings that you can feel, and probably it's old stuff. But just let it come. If there are tears or any kind of frustration, scream it out or do whatever you need. Just give it space. Yoga is always about creating space in the body, in the mind. So allow yourself to create space for you. And for some of you, when you are getting closer to this last minute, maybe you feel like, oh, I need to back off or adjust something, then do it. You're free to do whatever you need. Or maybe you even feel that, I think I can melt a bit deeper into this now and still not be even close to my 100%. Then do that. So this is all about listening to your body, getting back in contact with all of you. So you can feel, what do you need? It's so easy to think about what everyone else needs. But this is about you. Take a big inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. And then you're going to move over to the other side, super slow, and do whatever you need in between. If you want to come up, stretch, do a swipe or whatever, do that, and then land back down into it. And when you have found your way over on the other side, notice if maybe that feels different. Again, if you play a violin or flute, it might be very uneven, and even horn players. It's often that the shoulders are very uneven. So if you need more props or less props on this side, do that. Adjust after what the body needs. And if it's too much for your hips or knees, then maybe you can even try to just stretch out your legs, lie down on your belly, but with the same rotation. There is always an option. Just be creative. You can still keep the rotation and get the effect. And remember that some days you might feel that you have a low energy. Then it's perfect to do this yin yoga session. And you will be more energized probably. And remember that low energy is not the same as bad energy. Low energy is just different. Maybe you have to adjust your day if you have the possibilities for that. And that's what it's all about. What do you need? You're moving into the last minute in this position. Really listen to the body and see if you want to go a bit deeper or if it's getting too intense. If you happen to be too close to your 100%, just back off a little bit. Notice if there's any feelings. It might also come after. Just embrace it, whatever it is. You're always worth that rest or that space, always. But you have to do it. You have to take the time for it. And that you are in control of, right? So don't try to control the things that you cannot change, but take control and change so you can get more rest, be more grounded, and get more space for your breath, for your feelings, for everything you need. Take a big inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And slowly, with help of your arms, just slowly push yourself back up to a seated position. I'm going to show you the next one. It's a humble warrior. And that sounds nice, right? So the humble warrior, you might need an extra blanket. I do have one yoga mat and then a wool mat. And I'm going to show it with an extra blanket as well. So make sure that your knees are comfy. Then you're going to be like this. So it's 90 degrees in the leg. So it's not like a deep lounge or a stretch for the hips at all. And when you're here, try to be in an upright position, maybe the chin a little bit in. And if possible, you can interlace your fingers like this. Try to roll back your shoulders a little bit and lift your heart, and then try to stay in this without any tension. Try to relax into it. Make sure that you find the balance between both your feet. If it's too much, you can use a strap to hold, and then make sure you rotate out your shoulders. You can use a strap here to be able to like rest into it. Otherwise, you can always keep your hands here as well, but I feel more effect here with some kind of strap. You can take a t-shirt or whatever, a part of a blanket or something. So try now to find your way into this position. We're gonna stay here for 3 minutes. Keep breathing in a natural way or in a more active way, whatever suits you. And now, like you have learned from my other classes, because many of you have been to a lot of my classes, you're now exposing your heart, your throat, and that will boost you mentally. You will be more ready for whatever wait out there on Friday the 13th. So try to use as less muscles as possible, but this is a little bit more of an active pose. So it's something in between. It's hard to keep the balance without using muscles. Maybe you can try to put your foot a bit more out to the side. Maybe it's easier with the balance then. Imagine that you're super softly just lifting up your heart. And again, if there's any thoughts, feelings, embrace it, bring them up, and then they can pass. And this position will also give you a better posture. And when we are afraid, the tendency is to round your back, bring your shoulders in and forward. And that's because you want to protect yourself, like child's pose. But then it's also good to do this, to work with your posture, and then automatically you will change your hormones in the body and you will get a bit more testosterone and you will be mentally more prepared. So sometimes we have to adjust the posture and everything you want to happen in your brain will happen. That's kind of what I will call the magic of yoga, but it's not magic, it's actually science. We're in the last minute of this position. So take a big inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. And then slowly back out to whatever you need in between. Maybe you want to roll your shoulders, wiggle your neck. If you happen to create some tension somewhere there, just loose it up. Take a big breath and get ready for the other side. Make sure you do the other side. So for me, it's the left leg forward and my right knee is down here. Grab your hands or blanket or strap or whatever you have. And then make sure you gently roll your shoulders back, lift your heart. Find the balance between your left foot or the front foot and your knee, and you can help also with the back foot to find the balance. Try to, when you have found the form, relax as much as possible into this position. Just close your eyes. Notice that the balance then is more of a challenge. So maybe you want to keep your eyes open and awake. So try the different ones and stay with whatever feels right for you in this moment. This is all about you. Try to trust yourself, trust your needs, trust whatever you feel. The more honest you can be with yourself, the more honest you can be with others. And I promise that whatever you feel in this time we are in now, if you feel that it's hard to play live streams or it's hard to stay at home, I'm sure that if you share that, if you're honest and share that with other people, then I'm sure that most people will say, I feel exactly the same. And then we got each other. We're in this together. Bring your thoughts back to your breath. I forgot to turn my little timer, so we will see later in the film if my three minutes are correct. But I think we're in the last minute now. I'm doing this with you. So try to see if you can melt more into it, so you can melt your shoulders a bit more back without using any muscles. Just try to breathe it softer and open on the front side. So you can slowly just melt into a more open position or posture. Try to be soft in your belly and see if there's somewhere in the body that you can relax a little bit more. And then inspire yourself with a big inhale. Exhale through the mouth. Let go of your strap if you have that, or your hands. Maybe bring your hands down. Help your leg back. And find either a bolster or 2 blocks or 2 cushions. You're going to get into the sleeping butterfly. So you can use a bolster like this. Put my feet over and together. They can be closer to me or a bit far away. Now I'm resting down to my bolster. If you don't have a bolster, you can take cushions or blocks, and then you don't need them under your knees. You can put them under here, under your thighs. Because again, you're not going to 100% stretch here, 70%. So even if you have the flexibility to just put your knees down, put something under this time. And then you're going to lay all the way back down. So maybe you have to adjust it when you lie down. Find your way into this position. Make sure that your knees or thighs have some support. See if you can put your shoulder blades a little bit in under, so you keep that opening in the chest. Palms are facing the roof, and you can close your eyes and see if you can be even more relaxed in your hips. Can you take a big inhale and then expirare, let go. Make sure you have a soft belly. And you choose if you want a more active breath or a softer one, just automatically. Again, feel the surface. Maybe your hands are touching your floor. Notice all part of the body that is resting down. See if there is somewhere in the body you can rest a little bit more. And always in Yin Yoga, when you have found the form, then there's nothing more to do. Just be in it and melt into it. Notice how your breath is moving in and out. Take a big inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. And notice if you feel a bit more relaxed than when we started. Maybe slowly you have find your way into your parasympathetic nervous system. We are soon going to move into the Yoga Nidra. So what is Yoga Nidra? You can find your way out of your butterfly and sit up, because I'm going to show you some options of how you can rest in Yoga Nidra. So Yoga Nidra is like a yogic sleep. It's almost like a guided meditation, but in a special way. So it will make your brain waves go down to first theta and then delta. And that's equal with your really deep, deep sleep. And where the muscle memory process everything, it's great for your immune system, your digestive system, for everything. And the cool thing is that 15 to 20 minutes Yoga Nidra is equal to 2 to 3 hours of deep sleep. And you have probably noticed, if you're trying to learn a concert that is really demanding with a lot of muscle work, and then you just slept, and the next day you're like, oh, it's going much better, because it's been processed in your muscle memory. So if you are struggling with something like that, then you can just do a 20-minute Yoga Nidra after, and then it will feel like you have slept on it, and then you can practice again, and it will feel like you had a whole night in between. It's amazing, it's magic. And every time I do a Yoga Nidra and wake up from that, I am amazed of how much creativity that starts bubbling, how much energy I get from it. And that's because my brain is just knocked out. And in Yoga Nidra, you don't have to do anything. You can listen to my voice, you can fall asleep, I will wake you up, you can just trust me. So It's just to enjoy it. And it's also a lot of science now about yoga nidra and why it is helping. And like you will notice, I will be talking about the different parts of the body. It's like a body scan, but I mix that with some kind of music related stuff. So you will, that means the connections of the brain and that area will be stronger. And there's a reason why I'm doing this. For some of you, it might be like, oh, this is very yoga, flammity flam. But I think you will enjoy it. So try to just be open-minded and let's go. So make sure to be super comfortable. I'm going to show you some options. Here you can use everything you have. This is a material sport. You can have a cushion under your head. Yeah, you can put your bolster or roll a blanket under your knees. You can, if it's a long way down, you can rest your heels on some blocks. Or you can, of course, just lie down on your back if that's okay for you. Another thing is that if you have a blanket, this blanket is a bit more heavy, or a bolster, you can put that on top of your hips and organs. This will feel very safe for your body when you protect your organs. You can also use this eye cushion I have over, make sure that you can breathe, or your sock or whatever you need or have. This is filled with lavender, so it's very lovely. I have two more, and when I do yoga nidra, I put this in my hands to also protect my hands and get it heavier down. So you can do the deluxe version, you can be a diva here, or you can, of course, just lie down. Make sure to put on some socks, maybe some extra layer, maybe a blanket, because you will get cold, maybe. And since I will just be guiding this, I will move out of the picture. So welcome to find your yoga nidra position. And welcome to this practice of yoga nidra with the intention to make you calm and safe and to trust. So make yourself totally comfortable, and you can be as much diva as you want. So if you now feel that I need more cushions or blankets or whatever, you have time, because you want to be able to rest with as little tension as possible. Let go of the control and trust that I will keep the time and I will guide you through this safely. And I will also wake you up if you fall asleep. And like I said, it's totally okay to fall asleep, and you will get the full effect of this yoga nidra anyway. You can listen to my voice or not. Or maybe you just fall asleep and like, oh, I had no idea what she was talking about. That's fine. The thing is that you cannot do this wrong, because it's nothing to do. Yoga nidra is a condition and experience, so there is nothing to do. And every part of you are welcome to this practice with everything you carry or are in this moment. Start to listen to the sounds you can hear from far away, maybe some other room, maybe some other people are in your building. And then listen to the sounds that are closer, like maybe my voice or some lamp, maybe a fridge. And all these sounds are welcome, and there is nothing that can disturb this practice of yoga nidra. Let your body rest heavy down towards the surface, and you will be safe and carried. Your next inhale through the nose will be like a big crescendo with the fermata, like we did in the beginning. Then exhale like a decrescendo all the way down to morendo. Let it die out. Another fermata. Then inhale again. Imagine some sound or chord or a little melody in the warmest possible sound. And enjoy the fermata before the exhale take you down again to morendo. A pause and keep going in your own rhythm. Welcome home to yourself. Trust that the infinite universe of music will carry you and keep you calm and safe. Just let go of your breath and let it happen automatically. Then listen inside you and find your sound, this beautiful sound, the most warm, generous sound you can imagine. And let that sound enclose your right thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, and let it fill your hand, your wrist, and let that honest, warm sound resonate in your whole right hand. Let the sound wander up to your underarm, elbow, and let it fill your whole right arm, and let the sound keep playing all the way up to your right shoulder. Let your sound cover your left thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, and let it fill your hand, wrist, and allow that powerful sound to resonate in your whole left hand. Let the sound move up to your underarm, elbow, and let it cover your whole left arm and keep moving it all the way up to your left shoulder. Move the sound deeper down and let your right big toe bath in that grounding, warm sound. The second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and fifth toe. Your whole foot and ankle is floating in this amazing sound all the way up your leg to your knee, thighs, and your whole right leg is now filled with that honest sound. Your left big toe is resting in that indulgent sound. Then second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and fifth toe. Your whole foot and ankle is packed with this generous sound that keeps sounding and reach your leg, knee, thighs, and your whole left leg is now included in this irresistible warm sound. Your whole hip area is enclosed with this infinite, seductive sound that resonates all the way up to your belly and organs, that is now loaded with this powerful, amazing sound. Imagine that a beautiful, open sound surround your heart and make the rhythm of it lento and steady. Lento and steady. The sound moves up and gently swipe over your neck, throat, chin, mouth, eyes, and your whole face is lightened up by this complete sound. Your whole body is now surrounded and supported by this infinite, warm, and powerful sound. And it also fills the space around you like there was no walls. Your whole body is resting in that infinite, warm, and powerful sound. Your sound. Imagine how you can rest and be calm in this sound. In this infinity, you can have faith, feel free, and let the music carry you until you decide to stop it. You can always rest in that sound. Notice how the inhale inspire you and the exhale cleanse. How you can trust that your breathing system will take care of you even when you don't take control over it. Expirare, exhale, let go, trust. Listen to your sound and listen to your heartbeat, your rhythm. Lento and steady. Trust that the infinite universe of music will carry you and keep you calm and safe. This yoga nidra is about to end, and you can take a deeper breath. Start moving your fingers, toes, and get back to the room. You can put your hands together and create some warmth. Try to move your hands together to create some warmth. And when you have that heat, put your hands over your eyes so you can feel that heat, that energy from your hands. And protected by that, you can blink your eyes open and slowly let the light back in. Then super slow, move your way back up. This yoga nidra is finished. You can of course also keep lying down if you feel like that. Put your hands together in front of your heart. And like we always end a yoga session, we say the word namaste. That means that I see the light in you and you see the light in me, that we all inspire each other. Namaste.